I have a layout for you that I'm doing for you today that's going to be so fun. But first, I want to show you how I have my things organized. Some of you might know I do organize my stuff by category, but not like nature, that kind of thing. I have how I scrapbook my things, and I do project ready things as well. So let me show you where I start at. Okay, so the first thing that I have is I have my bin, and I keep all of these things together. And this is all of my stuff for female. Any age, anything that I personally would use as female, not necessarily what the manufacturer has it labeled as. I'm going to leave this laying down like this so maybe you can see it a little bit. The first thing is I was at one of those discount stores. It's a new, almost like Five Below kind of thing, but a different name. Ollie's, I think it was. And I found these. Now, I do want to separate these a little bit more because there may be a couple of things that I can use for something else, like this, say, vacay vibes. But I have some grandbabies that just recently went to vacation. And a lot of these to me are girl themed. So I put them all in here. I also have an envelope. These are all just things I planned on using on a layout that I need to put up. I haven't done it yet, but they're at least in the right area. So I don't have to go looking at a bunch of spots. A quote that I found that reminds me, dance as if no one's watching, that kind of thing. So I'm keeping that in here because I want to do that on a layout of one of my granddaughters. This is a perfect example of why I actually separate my stickers into notebooks. This one I would use on my daughter. She's going to be testing for her black belt in March. That's another project I'm going to be working on. But like these I would use on my grandson. This I would use on my grandson. This I would use on my granddaughter because she's had a costume similar to this just recently. And this one I would put in food. So if I had this someplace else, then I would not be able to, I would have to go look all over the place and try to remember where I've seen these. So for now, I'm leaving it in here because I know I'm going to be doing a layout of these too soon. But I'm going to go and I'm going to take this one, and this one and put it in my grandson's. That put it in food. Leave this one, and that was going to go in food. So I don't want to look for it. So I'll show you my notebook in a few minutes and how I do that. I keep any 6x6 papers that I have in here that I want, that looks like female. I tore books apart. Anything that I think I would use on a female. I also have my 8x8 papers in here. There's some that's so beautiful. Look at this 49 in market. Graphic 45, sorry. Look at this graphic 45 paper. So I keep all of those in here. The other thing that I put in here is my sticker books. These are all female sticker books that I put at Echo Park. This is one I found at Hobby Lobby. So any sticker books that I have, I keep in here as well. I also keep these things like this. You can very easily stack these in here. But like I said, if I had one like this that had something else, I would definitely be taking them apart. You can still stack them in here like this, but these are some stickers that I have found because I have layouts of 3 girls and this is one that I found that I'm leaving in the container. I'm not going to take it out, but you can put them in here. So whether you use a notebook or not, this would work for you. The other thing that I have in here, my container away here, is I have my kits. I have papers when I buy a paper specifically for a layout. This was one I picked up. My granddaughter did some ice skating lessons and had a program, so I'm going to use that for hers. I have just some things, female, just individual, some thin, some not, that I think that I would use on females, and I put them in here. Just loose because I have not made any mini kits out of them. And then these are my mini kits. If I have a paper, I start putting together things that I think that I would use for a layout, so I can just grab them and go. Now this one can be more male than female. I had this one in here instead of my male because I want to use this particular one, so I need to cut this out and use it, but I didn't want to forget what layout I wanted to use it for. But my son had, he went over to Iraq during the war, and his wife was pregnant, so she had an ultrasound and had the baby's heartbeat put into a giraffe. And so he took that with him, and I have a picture of him with that giraffe. So I want to use that. So anything you see that you want to use for specific layouts, put them separate, but that doesn't mean all these others can't go into mail or anywhere else you want to use them. This was a layout that I started with that I haven't got the pictures for yet, but I did want to remember that I wanted to use this paper with these stickers. So that's another way you can kind of, and these are just page protectors. You can get like 100 of them, you know, and I buy the, make sure when you buy the size, you buy the 12.5 by 12.5 so that your papers and stuff will fit into it. Because sometimes if you get the 12 by 12, it's just a tad small. So these are all just mini kits that I can pick up and use for females. So that's, and then I have a couple more kits back here that I have. This is one that I planned on using for my daughter-in-law. And this is a cowgirl one that I just bought. So all of these live in this container here. And I put it on my shelf for my, you know, with all my female stuff in there. It's easy for me to find everything that I need. So the next step, once I figure out which paper I want to use, and I have my little mini kit or whatever that I have that I'm going to make, and I get my stickers and stuff together, and then, oops, I just dropped something, but I'll pick that up later. I'm dropping everything. So these are the pictures that I'm going to be using today. So I'm going to put them over in my little thing. I have all the paper that I'm going to use. So what I do is I have about a dozen of these that I bought. And I'll link all this stuff down below. It'll be a Google Doc like I always do. So you can pull it up and the links will all be there. So this is some of the paper I plan on using. Some stickers that I thought would look good on it that I wanted to pull. You don't want to have to be looking. Once you start scrapbooking, in my opinion, you do not want to sit there and have to get up and keep going. Look, you just want to have everything. Give you your thoughts. Don't overdo it. And then I put it in here. And then I'm ready to scrapbook it. But I have, you know, some of these stickers, if they're loose, they stick on here. On these, they come up just fine. I keep any of my stamps in here because why am I going to look through all of my stamps when I'm working on a female? I put things with my female. I want to have everything that I need for this. Any kind of stamps, not stamps. If I have any kind of die cuts, anything, I put them in here. I do use baseball card holders, which is what these are here. And I just put a piece of paper. It's 2.5 by 3.5. So I just use pieces of scrap and I put it in here so I can use both sides of the baseball card protector. And I keep anything in here that's, you know, smaller. Sometimes I do cut things apart. But I have all of these things. This is another one. This is just a photo sleeve that you can put in a photo album. But it's the 4x6 or 5x7. You can get different sizes of this. So anyway, here's another one. I stuck some of the things to here. And see, they come off easily on these page protectors. So there's so many ways you can use this notebook. But when I get ready to do my female, I grab my box because I'm now in a wheelchair. So I can't just get them to look for things. So I do more project-based scrapbooking, crafting, whether I'm crocheting, working on anything, doing a wreath, whatever. I put things in project-based things so that when I ask somebody, can you please go and help me carry my female stuff in? They know, go right through this bin. It's labeled female on the side. My notebook is labeled female. They bring it to me, and then I'm able to go through stuff and work on what I want to work on. This is another one of the baseball cards. You know, this is one with the 4x6. So there's all these things, and they're not expensive to get. The notebook, I did order special because I did want pink because that makes me happy. So I did order those a while back. So, but any notebook, any size. I got bigger ones because I knew I'd want to keep all my stickers in there. So now that we know how we're organized, let's get to scrapbooking. Papers I'm using is from Echo Park, Dream Big Little Girl. I will have that linked on the Google Doc down there. I'm using this stripe. I've already cut it. It is going to be a 6x6 piece of paper on both sides, and it's this on the back. So, and then this is the other paper that I'm using, and that was a hard decision, but that's the other one I'm using. And then I have this brown, and on the back is Daisy. So I'm glad I only used just a small strip because Daisy is my favorite flower. And you have to use a daisy side point at some point. Anyway, so 1-inch strips, 1x12, and then two 6x12s, 2 6x12s. So let me put this layout together as far as put the papers down, and then I'll be back and we can get started with something else. Okay, so it's all together. It's like magic. I put stripes on the bottom. I think it looks good that way, but it would look good this way too. That's where you decided. Check the orientation of your paper before you do that. Now, I am going to, on this side, be telling the story behind these pictures. It's a fabulous, you don't want to miss it. And on this side of the screen, I'm going to be doing scrapbooking. Again, magic. Let's get started. And the Grammy should go to the person who took this picture. Look at the look on that girl's face. I know, right? I love it. It's just kind of like, I'm not doing nothing. Or, you better watch out. I'm thinking. So this is the big picture that I'm going to be using, but then I have others that I'm going to be doing as well. This little girl, she's so curious about so many things. And she just, if you have a child, by the way, that's young and getting into things like this, try just to take a deep breath. Take some pictures, because later on it'll be funny. It's not funny today, but it will be funny later. So take some pictures. Right. This is a picture of her. Her name is Audrey. She's my youngest granddaughter. And in this picture, she has her baby doll. And her baby doll was hot. And I usually use put powder on kids, especially when they're trying to sleep, around their neck and their back, you know, and that kind of things to help them stay cool. Well, her baby apparently was hot. And she wanted some baby powder on her baby, so she powdered up her baby and made a big mess all over that bathroom floor. But it smelled good. See, there's bright sides to everything, see? This one, her sisters, she has 2 older sisters, used to take her in the backyard and they'd play in mud, and they would cover her in mud. They didn't want to be covered in mud, but they would cover the baby sister in mud. But she liked it. She thought, they're playing with me, and said, look at that. That is just hilarious. Love that. It shouldn't be funny, but it is. She is not happy. She was in a hotel with her parents, and she was standing by the front door, by the door of the hotel room, and she wanted to open up. So they told her, you have to back up so that you can, we can get the door open. She backed up and landed right in the middle of the trash can. Things just don't happen like that every day. I'm sorry. This one, she found mommy's lipstick, and look how pretty. She feels so pretty. She's got clown lips, but you know what? Seriously, that is just funny. That is just funny. And this one I think every kid does, but she's making a big mess of Tupperware, aka also Cool Whip bottles, sour cream. She's getting into the band. And this one, her dad was painting, and she decided that paint looked like it'd be really fun to play in, so she sticks her whole arm in the paint. It's crazy, I know. Oh my God, this child is just funny. And there was more pictures. I had to cut it off at some point. This one, she found the trash bags, and she is getting every single trash bag out. And the thing is that if you kids work quickly. This is not bad parenting. It is not somebody not watching these kids. It is just simply that 1 second that child is sitting right there. You turn your head for a second to get something out of the cabinet for this child to be able to eat lunch or something, and then they're into it. So don't think just because things like this happen, it's bad parenting. It's not. It's part of life. Like I said, take a deep breath. Life goes on. Take a picture. You're going to laugh about it one day. Maybe not. But the best one she's ever done is her mom went down and got her hair colored. And Audrey decided she wanted her hair colored. And her mom would always paint her nails. So she put 2 and 2 together, and she put nail polish all in her hair. 2 full bottles of nail polish. poured it in her hair to make herself look pretty. Of course, it wasn't just in her hair. It was on her skin, it was on her face, on her clothes, all in her hair, but she thought she was the prettiest thing. She thought... Her dad called me and told me about that. She's now 10, but her dad called me about that, and I'm like, oh my. Oh my. That's... I asked him my first question, how'd you get it down? He goes, I haven't yet. I still don't know how they got it down. I don't know if I want to know the details because just the stories of them is funny. Okay, I have one more quick tip for you. When you are done with your scrapbook page or your journaling, whatever you're doing, you take whatever scraps you have and put it back in that same file so that when you go back to female stuff again, everything is still in the same place. Now I'm going to clean this up, organize it a little bit, and I'll be back. So that's my story about Miss Audrey. And look at that face, it fits those pictures, doesn't it? All right, guys, that's my layout for today. I have so many other things we're going to be doing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Help a grandma out. It helps on the YouTube side. Hit that like button and alert because you do not want to miss some of the things I've got coming up. I have where I'm taking 4 pieces of paper and I'm making like as many layers as I can, usually 5 or 6. No scraps. I have another tour of my room coming up with a lot of changes since I've had to be in the wheelchair, a lot of changes, but it makes sense for anybody, whether you're in a wheelchair or not. Also, I have, what else do I have coming up? Oh, so many. If you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like you don't know where to go because you're so far behind, you got so many things, not to worry. I'm going to come up with some tips and tricks to get you out of the rut and get you organized. So if you have any questions, leave it down below and hit that subscribe button. Talk to you guys later.